Good evening, everyone. Today, I want to cover the current PC hacking situation and how it's affecting different cards in the market in different ways. And also, I'm going to actually, surprisingly, defend EA in this case. Now, don't worry, in future videos, EA will receive my criticism as they deserve to. But in this case, I genuinely feel that there is only so much EA can do as a company, and we are going to talk about that. Okay. So let me actually start by addressing why I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt here. Okay. As a gaming company, one of the few things that is out of your control is the constant, essentially, hacking attempts on your game, especially when you're a very popular game. Okay. I'd like to use a comparison to, first person shooting games, which are notorious for having basically permanent aimbots and wall hacks persistent throughout their game for years and years without ever being able to be fully addressed. It's kind of the same situation. I think of it a bit like a cat and mouse game, except the mice in this case are extremely agile, nimble, and relentless. And there's many of them, right? All the people who are making these hacks or trying to infiltrate basically a game in this way, there's tons of these individuals or entities, right? And for each game, there's only one company that's creating this game or any given game. And to be fair, it's difficult for them to deal with that type of situation, right? Everything else we've talked about up until this point, and a lot of the other things we're going to talk about on this channel, are in EA's control, and they choose to do an extremely bad job managing the game and taking care of the player base. Plain and simple, okay? But I'm going to give them sort of the benefit of the doubt on this one. Now, the rest of this video, well, there's a few different things we're going to cover here, so stay tuned. I got a couple surprises for the end as well. But what I want to do next is show you, by looking at different cards on the market, the proof of this being the case, these out of hand PC hacking issues. This seems to have become a real problem more than usual in the last 1 to 2 weeks. And we can see that reflected in the market, okay? Because remember, historically, throughout the vast majority of every year, cards are more expensive on the PC market. They usually cost, the mid-high meta cards cost 10, 20, 30% or more as compared to console. The top tier meta cards usually cost between 30 to 50% more than their counterparts on the console market. And the rarest cards on the game sometimes are even more than 50% of a premium, okay? So the one example I'll give from this team here is you look at this probably impossible to pack Holland card. On console, 2.5 mil. On PC, 4.5 mil, close to double, right? This is what happens at the top end of the market, okay? But look at other cards like, for example, this Stanway. Still a very good card, but much more packable, being packed in a lot of these rank 1 hacking weekend leagues on PC, right? You have a card that is 90K on console, 70K, on PC, right? Before I show you more examples, we're going to cover some of these team of the weeks here. We're going to go over those in a moment. But before I do, I want to gloss over some of these gold cards. And before I go on any further, just a tiny bit of context. I'll cover this in a bit more detail in another video, but I am not an active daily trader in this game. This is not my primary focus with the game. Okay, I don't want to spend most of my day each day micromanaging the market and doing like day trading and swing trading on this game. Not my interest, but I do like to pay attention to the market. And one recent example of that I have is in a previous video, I mentioned purchasing this special Rush Griezmann card, and I explained a little bit of why I purchased him. And thankfully, my decision to purchase him has paid off, because 9 days ago, I purchased this card at 1,120,000 coins. The card has gone up over 300K on PC. Granted, part of that is probably because of this extra inflation that I could not have predicted with these out of control hacks going on. But nonetheless, an out of pack special card like this Griezmann becomes very rare and very sought after, especially after the fact. And so it ended up being a good decision. And I'm just briefly covering this to demonstrate that I do, have an idea of how the market works. Okay. With that being said, let's take a look at some gold card examples of what's happened to the market to prove the fact that the PC hacking is a thing right now. So, Jude Bellingham is about 20% less on PC now as compared to console. This is very unusual, especially for the start of a game. It's basically unheard of. Now, for a bit more context, if we look at the price graph of Jude Bellingham up until this point, we can see a clear difference in the opposite direction, being more expensive in the past on PC compared to console, where on Thursday, October 3rd, right, which is about 23 days ago, about 3 weeks ago, 400K. It's more expensive than console, where he is 340K. Excuse me, that represents about a 20%, tax, let's call it PC tax premium. And now he's at a discount in the opposite direction. That is about a 40% swing in price in 3 weeks. This just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. That's Exhibit A. Now, I have all these tabs open. The swings are anywhere between 20 to 40%, kind of like Jude Bellingham. Maybe not as severe in some cases, but you're going to see a lot of these meta cards are noticeably cheaper on PC, right? So there are actually many examples. It's not just one card. It's quite a few still meta gold cards in that mid to high meta, not the top meta. The top meta is, where all the people making these coins and hacking these coins onto accounts, they're selling coins, they're using probably coin selling websites, and it's keeping that top meta market really high. That's not crashing on PC, because that's where all the coins are going, right? The cards that cost 1, 2, 3, 4 million plus, those cards aren't crashing on PC, right? So you have, also Saliba, same thing. Frankie de Jong, same thing. Bremer, kind of interesting. He's damn near fodder price on PC, which is unusual when you compare it to console. One of the funniest examples is this Ousmane Dembele card, because I can't get over this. This card is like half price for like a 5-star meta French player. And now, granted, we're about 5 or so weeks into the game cycle, 5-6 weeks. So, he's not the most sought after card, but for this card was basically going for the same price on both markets for most of the year until now, where the guy is half price, which I find is kind of funny. I'm actually thinking of picking up Dembele just to try a different formation, just because he's damn near fodder price for a 5-star card of that caliber. Even if you lose a bit of coins from further, losses in the market, it doesn't matter. So, okay, Nico Williams. Nico Williams is an interesting one, okay? At his peak, October 1st, this card was very in demand, and because of that, 170K PC. Console, 140K. 30K on top of 140K is basically a 20% premium, right? Now look, 10K less as compared to a 38K card, right? Eder Militao, same thing. Araujo, same thing. Jules Koundé, same thing. That's pretty much it. I want to gloss over. This is the team of the week card I want to show. This Karchaoui and Diaby, right? So one of the most common rewards from high ranks in Weekend League are team of the week packs. So they are sort of disproportionately supplied because of these hacks. And you can see that because this Diaby card at any other time of the year in past FIFAs or FC, this is never the case. This isn't how this works. This card is always at a premium, a significant premium on PC, not a significant discount. Okay. Even a card like Karchawi, who maybe isn't used by that many people. I actually really like using Karchawi. Karchawi's basically been my left back, the gold card, for majority of this year. I just prefer the 5-star skills in an attacking wing back position. That's my preference. I even packed Mendy recently. I still prefer to use this card for context. But anyways, 25% discount on PC. I'm going to purchase this card for sure, because it's on a discount now. But my point is this. There's a lot of evidence to show what's happening, and it's all because of this PC hacking. And again, I'm not going to critique EA this time. EA has a pass in my books for today, because I really don't think there's a whole lot they can do to completely get rid of the PC hacking issue. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I have one last surprise point I want to cover. And this is basically a compliment to the 98% of you who understand why I'm making these videos. You leave insightful comments, positive or neutral comments. I appreciate you very much. And basically in the near future, I have a bone to pick with the other 2-3% of people. And tell you what, if you've gotten this far and you're hearing what I'm saying about this, if you want to comment on this, do you prefer me to sort of break down some of the illogical or nonsensical comments that I get? It's very rare. Granted, only a small percentage of the comments have been, let's call it negative or nonsensical or ridiculous. Thankfully, very happy about that. But still, I'm very tempted to, basically make a video breaking down the ridiculous nature of some of these theories from some people who don't understand where the rest of us are coming from. So, if you've made it this far and you're hearing what I'm saying here, feel free to chime in. I'd like to know your take. If a number of people want me to make a follow-up video and sort of break things down, I would be happy to do that. If on the other hand, you think you really don't want to see that for some reason, let me know. I'm going to sort of get a feel for what the people who are resonating with me, I want to get a feel for what you think about that sort of thing. But I want to thank the 98% of you who you get where I'm coming from. You understand why I'm making these videos, essentially, right? It's for the community of people who feel the same way, see the game for what it is. You're calling it like you see it. That's what I'm doing. I'm calling it like I see it. And so I have a fun little treat for you, because you guys with the attention span to make it through to this point of the video, you're a relatively rare breed, especially in this day and age. A lot of us have shorter attention spans, but for those of you listening to a video like this the whole way through or making it to the end, you guys are a different breed. So for those of you who don't know, apparently recently there was a study done among various popular games of IQ. All right. And unfortunately, us in the EAFC game aren't the brightest, apparently. But I disagree. I think the people who are listening at this point, you guys, I would like to think that I'm a logical person. I'm an insightful person, right? So I don't believe this is the case for the whole community, right? And there are other factors here that I think aren't being taken into consideration. And that is this. At the top, you have, League of Legends, 120 IQ, right? Pretty impressive. Now, at the very bottom of this list, you have FIFA 23, FC 24 at 89.8, which is not a good look. But I also think that the average age of people playing this game is far younger, which has a huge impact on this data as compared to a game like League of Legends. There's no question about that. We know for a fact that plenty of kids are playing this game. And if they're taken into account somehow with these polls or these studies, obviously it's going to be skewed. But The 2% of people who are saying nonsensical stuff on a video like the one I made the other day, unfortunately, that 2% of people is dragging that average down. And it's you guys who are pulling that average up, right? And I know it's like an uphill battle. It's not easy, to be carrying the weight of these other people, but 98% of you are, you guys are the guys who are actually at this, like, the high IQ range of people, and you're sort of carrying the player base. So I want to give a shout out to you. I appreciate you for your patience. I appreciate you for the attention span you've maintained. Okay. And I'm glad that we are communicating with each other. I love the comments. I love, acknowledging your comments. I appreciate you deeply. And that's pretty much all I got to say for this video. All right. I know that we went a little bit long here, but it actually wasn't too bad. I think I did this basically in one take. It's a bit late. Have a good night. Until the next video, take care of yourself. Peace.